Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where I talk all things World Chase Tag. In today's episode, I had the absolute pleasure of interviewing Urban Generations. Unfortunately, Dane, Andy, and Omar weren't able to join us, but that's not to say we didn't have a blast. The footage is great. I'm sure you guys are gonna love it. Mad props to all the guys that showed up. I know they're busy, and the fact that they took time out of their lives to do a Zoom interview with me really does mean a lot. I hope you guys love the video. Hey guys, thanks so much for coming out. Really appreciate you taking the time to have an interview. So, how did you guys come together as a team? And what were you guys doing before World Chase Tag?
I can take this one. So me and Haroon are obviously like the original members, and then Dave and Emil are kind of newer members and joined this year, although we've wanted them on for a little bit. Initially, me, Haroon, and Andy all kind of got together and kind of thrown together by Damien and Christian, the creators of World Chase Tag. Just in a car ride up to Swansea, they kind of invited us all out, and on the ride up, we decided that we'd enter the qualifiers for World Chase Tag 2. And then we decided from there to add Dane to the list of like athletes we needed, because we needed 4 people to enter the tournament. And we were like, oh, who's good? And kind of who does what we don't do? Because like me and Haroon are both the same, similar sizes, and Andy's like kind of medium sized, I suppose. Dane's like very small and scrambly. So we're kind of thinking of someone of that kind of style, and we knew him very well from training loads, so we got him on board. And then recently we added a few more members to the team, are like kind of like a B team, and like with Sam, and then Emil and Dave have come on board for the last 2 competitions in last 3 competitions, Holland, UK, and Lyon. And again, they're just like friends of ours that have trained with us for a little while. We've known Dave for quite a bit, and we just thought they'd be good additions to the team. They're both very, very committed. So yeah, that's how we all kind of came together. We all just know each other through parkour and training and teaching, all those other things.
So what do you guys bring to World Chase Tag as a team? And what's your favorite part about competing?
Haroon, you want to take that?
Oof, favorite part about competing? I'll take that.
Yeah, go on then.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Answer complete.
One thing about Haroon is he's always smart. Like if you just watch footage of Haroon.
Oh yeah, if you watch my chases, you'll see.
Smiling.
On the chasing plate, I'm not.
Yeah,
you're as soon as I step off the chasers plate, I can't help myself. It's just smiles all round. Yeah, I mean, it's just fun. That's why I like it. That is literally it for me. I think someone else should take the rest of it.
Dave, what do you think we bring as a team, Dave?
We bring entertainment and excitement, I think.
Yeah,
there is some anticipation, since Haroon has never been evaded before. So, so we also bring that kind of excitement along into the competitions. We get the people going.
So what extent do you think of it, or as World Chase Tag, as a parkour discipline? And then what extent do you think of it as its own thing? Where's the balance there?
I can answer.
Yeah. We'll take one.
Yeah, so obviously, if we were actually discussing this earlier today, but generally speaking, if you're a parkour athlete, it gives you good grounds to be a World Chase Tag athlete. However, using examples like Kimio, you don't really necessarily need a good parkour background to be good in Chase Tag. There's also another example in Run London's team in the UK. In the UK competition, the recent one, there was a boxer that we met just training, and he managed to make it onto the team, and he was actually very, very good for someone who doesn't do parkour as well. And even just in general, he was just very good.
He went across the mountain.
Yeah,
like he'd never done parkour before.
That's
like strode across the mountain.
I was a little bit scared watching him do that. To be honest, he's not is he ready for that? Because he hasn't done it in training at all.
Yeah,
so it is pretty impressive that some people don't have to be parkour athletes.
And also ironically, I feel like after doing chase tag, it's much easier to get into parkour rather than from parkour into world chase tag.
Yeah, that's what Kimio did.
Especially, because you start moving around a lot faster, and then you can do things which are better for like speed comps and stuff, because you already have that like instinctual movement, and you're kind of already moving at high speed. You're dealing with fear on certain parts of the quad, I guess.
I think they're separate things. I think parkour. They intertwine,
kind of like gymnastics and parkour.
Yeah, it's like
one thing they're the same.
Yeah, that's
now you're saying things.
I think
blasphemy, right?
You actually are.
Let me phone David Bell. Hang on.
The thing is, it's very good to have.
No way.
It's just good to have like a bodily awareness, which you do create with parkour, because you're dealing with high speeds.
Yeah.
And knowing your body and knowing how your body will react in high speed and in high speed chases. There's not a lot of other sports that have that can contain that, and parkour obviously does. So it helps. I see it as two separate things, but it definitely helps if you
100%.
have done some parkour in your life.
Yeah, if you took a very good parkour athlete and a random dude off the street, and you put them in a chase tag match, the parkour athlete will have an advantage because he will have the confidence to move through the court a lot more efficiently than someone who doesn't understand how to step over a waist-high rail. So 100% the parkour gives you an edge, but it at a certain level will only give you so much.
I think as well, like it's like saying, is Ninja Warrior parkour? Is Ninja Warrior climbing? It's like no, it's not rock climbing. Yeah. But if you're a rock climber, you're sure as hell gonna do much better than like a muggle, just fucking or like a regular person trying to do Ninja Warrior. A climber's gonna have an advantage. It's the same everything. Like, but we see tennis players have played like Tebow, like one of the OG guys, was like he played tennis and rugby a lot. He was super good at World Chase Tag, because it's not just a parkour. It's not a parkour discipline, I suppose. It's just
you could argue it's like one of the rawest forms of parkour.
Yeah, I was going to say that it is one of the rawest forms. You just move instinctively. It depends on what your definition of parkour is.
It gives very similar vibes to like remember Stora's Roof Culture, not Roof Culture Asia, but like
the first one.
The first one where it was very like scrambly, and they even intentionally, to my knowledge, I think they intentionally used clips that weren't as what would be considered clean. Just because it gave more of that like raw parkour feel.
Yeah.
Nothing in chase tag you generally see is clean like that. It's all very like kind of a little bit chaotic. Like obviously there are clean things, but
there's moments of cleanliness, but yeah.
You don't get none of that perfect stick.
Yeah,
you don't do that. You know what I mean?
You're searching for
there's no absolute control. Yeah.
That doesn't really happen.
You're trying to control chaos in chase tag. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think we define them as very different things.
So how do you guys train for World Chase Tag? And then how many hours a week do you spend doing those things?
Fuck me. Many hours.
As many as we can. As many as we can.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a full-time job for most of us.
Sponsors.
Sponsors. I mean, I train just as much as I work for the most part. Because you just have to, and I really, really enjoy it. Like, we don't just train only World Chase Tag. We do a lot of like strength and conditioning, like weightlifting, or like bulletproofing, whatever you want to call it, to ensure that our bodies are like okay to take those sort of things. Because as you play, as you do other stuff, you get in like little injuries, niggles. So weightlifting really helps you kind of like go through those. And then we do at least 2 like World Chase Tag training sessions each week. And like parkour on top of that, because we just enjoy doing parkour. The way you train for it is like loads of different things. Obviously playing tag is the best way, and if you have a court, we'd probably just spend most of our time playing on the court, as that's like the biggest thing to get you better.
Well, in London,
like you wouldn't invest.
Parkour gym.
Yeah, I mean you wouldn't invest. If you have a court, you'd invest most of your time into like basically acquiring skills on the court and not strength and conditioning. But because we don't have one, we invest quite heavily into the strength and conditioning and like cardio side of stuff, so that when we come to the court, we just feel strong enough that we can do stuff. sprinting, reflex drills, playing games of tags with like handicaps. So like only being able to tag certain bits of the body, stuff like that. And just like generally trying to have fun, like joke around and just enjoy playing tag. Like when we play tag, we are just having fun playing tag. Like our weightlifting is quite serious, and like all of our stuff, we're still joking around. But yeah, just enjoying it. Like today, just vibe.
Yeah, and then trying to isolate individual weaknesses and work on them, develop and improve.
Yes, like any setup that we have, like obviously Haroon, myself and Emil are all 6 foot plus. So it's like, we're not very good at scrambling because we're all quite big. And it's like, we're all very comfortable striding up on high stuff. So we're not going to necessarily invest loads of time into like striding on rails and stuff like, even though it's very important, we're going to invest more time into like this kind of scrambly stuff. So we set our courts up, or set the areas we're training in to be a bit more tailored to that. That's what we do. Dave trains over in Holland, so I don't know. He's doing other stuff.
Yeah, I'm training on clogs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shoes.
Getting big
So
shoes.
Expect
for
nothing
me,
less.
training is 1 or 2 hours a day, sometimes twice a day, and it's gym time, it's running, it's sprint training, it's obviously parkour training, it's chase tag training. So yeah, anything that helps me become more explosive, basically.
You guys fulfill a certain role on the team, each person, like the crawler, the diver, whatnot, or do you all play the same in that respect? How does that all work?
Ideally, we would all play the same and we would all be perfectly adaptable. This isn't perfectly reasonable.
However,
This is not perfectly reasonable, as previously mentioned. 3 of us are over 6 foot. So Dane will be absolutely the best at being low down and 4-wheel driving about. That's a term that we came up with.
Yeah, that's patented.
We need to spread that.
4-wheel drive.
Saying 4-wheel drive, so it's crawling around real fast. That's what it says on the tin, really. So yeah, someone like Dane, who is quite short compared to us, will do this much better than we ever could, because let's face it takes him less time to get onto all fours, and then for him to explode out is just every time he will beat any of us at doing that. Whereas ask us to stride across the mountain, we would probably do that with ease, whereas he would struggle a little bit. Ideally, we can do everything though. And this is to help us out in regards to someone identifying a body type or a play style and thinking, okay, well, this guy only goes high up because he's tall, so I'm going to stay low and I can avoid him by doing so. If we anticipate that and put the training in beforehand, then they'll be proven to be incorrect and we'll be able to tag them. We'll be able to beat them at their own game. So while we can't beat Dane at his game because he is amazing at scrambling about, we might be able to beat someone less experienced at that game because we have developed it a lot. Anyone else? I think your mic's off.
I bring it up to like fighting in a way as well. Like, you know, if you train against wrestlers and you're a striker, you're going to just get better at defending wrestlers, right? If you just go into a fight and you just train against strikers, you won't even be able to comprehend the concept of somebody wrestling you, right? You see it all the time. So it's the same, like you want to be a well-rounded fighter or a well-rounded like world chase tag athlete, so you can execute multiple different plans. And if you get put in dangerous positions, you can like work out of them essentially, because you've been in them before. So if you're against a scrambly person and you've never seen someone scramble before, or you've never even like thought about doing it yourself, like going under the sisters, like scrambling under the sisters, you like might see that and be like, what the fuck is that? How are they doing that? You know, like we never saw Seth slide through. We never saw anybody slide through the tilted cube before. And like when Seth Wang did that for the first time, we were like, holy shit, that has unlocked a totally new realm of like what the fuck is possible and how someone can get through that gap. So you've got to train, but me and Haroon aren't going to dedicate loads of time to that style, but we should train it and understand it so we know how it can be used against us and how we can use it. I don't really like the idea of becoming like this super specialized version in like one style, like just being like a big speed athlete and that's it, or just being this or just being that. You have to be a really well-rounded athlete. But of course there are going to be some roles, like Haroon, for instance, is very, very good at tagging. So if he goes up against, if there's a very strong evader on, it's like, well, it makes no sense if we're in a tight position to send anyone else but him, right? And as if we're starting, I'm one of the stronger evaders on the team. So if I get to go out as an evader first when I'm fresh, that makes the most sense, you know, to do those sort of things. So although ideally we wouldn't have roles and everyone should be able to do everything, at the moment we have to, because there's some people who have edges in different areas. And stylistically, we need to match people up. So that's the reality.
But that's why we train everything though as well, is so that we can't get countered. We can't have Amos come up and say, okay, look, I know exactly what these guys are about. You have this specialized play style to defeat this. We want to nullify that tactic.
Yeah, if you look at sorry to carry on, but like if you look at the first match in the UKs and the second match and the third match where I play, like Damien and Christian even walked up to me, and Connor walked up to me. I think he says it in the commentary as well. He's like, why is Richard playing differently? Why is he not playing like, they basically like for the card game that they're making, right? They list you as like this player, or like they list you as like a stat, like you play high up or you play low down, like they list you as something. And they always list me as like a high up goading player, right? And then all of a sudden in the UKs, I'm playing like this low scrambly game and these unorthodox routes, and Connor and Damien and Christian are like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, why is he doing that? It's like the whole idea of I did that purposefully so that when other people were studying my game during the comp and thinking like, this is the way we counter this guy, I then started to play high up in the next game. I started to use the mountain, use other things, and be like, well, I'm not going to play like that anymore. I'm going to play like this instead. So that people can't, as Haroon said, counter you and be like, well, he just plays like this. And if we play like this, we'll beat that style. You don't want that to happen. You want to be like, all right, this guy's coming. I know how this is going to go down. Let's go.
Yeah, you want to be unpredictable, but in a controlled manner. You don't want to not know what you're doing yourself. You want to be in control, but be able to change everything you do. Like that.
In for a little surprise.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's next for Ugen as a team, and how do you guys plan on promoting yourselves, if at all?
What's next for us? I don't know. Well, hopefully they'll train more.
Train hard, always.
Yeah, train hard, always. The World Championship's obviously coming up. And I think we all believe that whoever wins this competition, which should be us, but you know, when we win this competition, this is the first actual World Championship. So like obviously Marrero are like 3-time world champs. Really, they're only 1-time world champs, World Chase Tag 3, because that's the only time an actual world had come together. You know, like 2 times, the first 2 were just UKs, essentially, like UK championships. So it's like, this is the first time we're having like a 16-team tournament over 3 days with teams who have trained and like multiple different champions, like world champions, European champions, British, fucking American, Chinese champions. Like this is actually, it's meant to be an Australian team coming. There is like actual world people. So we're just, what the future for us is basically going and winning that and proving that we are, you know, the best team in the world. Because I think everything.
We're the most consistent team in the world.
We are the most consistent.
We definitely are.
but yeah, I mean, we're just trying to look forward to that, because I think this one just means the most. Like whoever wins this is like, there's no question. There's no well, you didn't do this, or you didn't face this team, or this, that. You know, you are just outright the best. So
It puts the world in World Chase Tag.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
Oh, chase tag, you know, and we've only had like European or like English championships or American ones separate from us or Chinese ones separate from us. So yeah, this is going to be the biggest and best event. And to promote ourselves, I don't know. I think we just fucking keep going, keep training, keep doing what we do.
I'm happy where we are, just training.
Yeah, I mean,
At the moment, we're looking for. Sorry.
No, go on after you, Dave. You're head of communications.
At the moment, we're looking for sponsorships and for people to help us train and help us do the things that we want to do in terms of money. And also, we are looking to set up a little merch here and there. It's not going very fast. We're not going very big on it, but yeah, we need means to keep training and need means to be able to do what we do. So, in terms of promoting ourselves, that's where we're slowly heading. Because we, as Ugen, we need to utilize that we can keep doing this. Because right now we all have to put our own money and time and effort, obviously, in it. But it would be good to have some sponsors and have some deals and have some means to show ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's what we're slowly aiming for.
Sponsor this team.
Yeah.
Sponsor us.
Like, we obviously had a sponsorship with Bread.
We deserve it, I promise.
We're super fortunate for that. Like, they've helped us out a lot. Yeah, check them out. Yeah, shameless plug. Should have a drink in our hands. God damn it. But yeah, it's been great. Like, they've helped us out a lot, and we're super lucky to have those people wanting to sponsor us and show like commitment to it. Like, Kevin's been great, and he came down and watched the event. He really loved watching us play. He was having a great fucking time.
Yeah.
So
got a shirt and everything.
yeah, got a shirt and everything. But yeah, we need more means. So we want to do like partnerships with people and just try and keep us training as much as possible, because we are OGs of the game and have like one of the biggest names in the sport as far as I'm concerned. Like, if you look at
that's just fact. That's fact,
exactly.
bro.
Like, look at all the YouTube videos that we've been in. I mean, we've been in every single finals apart from one fucking tournament, basically. You know,
we either win or we lose to the winner.
Yeah. So that is a real statistic as well.
That's our stat.
Yeah, we either
that's a real Ugen stat,
or we lose to whoever goes on to win the tournament. So we've only ever lost to the best team, like in its respective thing, which is jokes. So we actually are
also
like
a little bit
the
sad.
second best. It's so sad. Like, we literally are second best always. Well, our overall ranking in the world is 5, so that's not too bad. But we need that number 1 spot for sure.
Well, thanks so much for coming out, guys. Really appreciate you taking the time to do this, especially as a team. That's a lot to ask, to book a slot to do this. Hope to see you out on the quad one day. Good luck, guys, in the Worlds. Super stoked to see that. Have an awesome day. I'll see you guys later.
See you soon.
Peace out.
Take care.